moment on your screens, he is in. The man has arrived. What we have been waiting for is here. The moment is here. That is President Mahama on your screen. And so I personally want to see what the dress he's put on. You remember the famous Fugu trend, and this came up when he visited Zambia this year. And so we all want to see what will trend today after his delivery in Parliament, where would the focus be? So we want to see how he is clad, how he's dressed up. Is it going to be Fugu or different attire that is showing up today? And so I am actually giving you some sort of niche. What you should focus your eyes on. What is he appearing in at the moment? So maybe on the count of 10, he will be stepping out of his car. President Mahama is in at Parliament here at the moment. And so what is he? So that is our First Lady, Lordina, coming out first. And this is beautiful. He's supposed to do this, of course, with all the relevant stakeholders. We earlier saw the Vice President's arrival. And so this is the First Lady who has just arrived. We saw her beautifully, represented in our traditional way. I can see kente colors in there. I don't know what your color eyes are, but it's so beautiful here. Now we want to see what President Mahama is also wearing for us. But of course, we are expecting much more than the appearances, which we have tabled them to you already. Let's take the national anthem. So that was our national anthem. We need to pay that tribute and respect to our national anthem. President Mahama is in, so he'll be doing the inspection. And pretty sure he is in Fugu again, repeated, beautiful one. And so Zambians who are following our broadcast, this is our tradition, part of our culture. He is in Fugu once again, and so we are going to again continue the trend here in our country. But he's in. Will be stepping down at the moment to do the inspection before he steps in the floor of Parliament. Security, we are looking at education, what he has done, what he has for us in 2026. Because a lot of things are staying for 2026, of course. You shouldn't even forget that this year is the World Cup year. And so we also expect President Mahama to talk about preparation for the World Cup. And so that is President Mahama on your screens at the moment doing the inspection before he steps on the floor of Parliament. Do enjoy this as we also continue to give you a rundown what we are expecting him to talk about. Like I was mentioning earlier, we are in a World Cup season, so we expect President Mahama to also touch on what he has for us. Our Blasters, even though yesterday the minister made mention about the budgetary allocation for the team from the group stage to the knockout phase. And so we want to see and hear from President Mahama other packages that he has for the Black Stars and even the Black Queens. You shouldn't forget that this year also our Black Queens will be playing in the WAFCON, and even tomorrow they are playing the Pink Ladies Cup. And so these are all aspects of the economy that President Mahama will be touching on when it comes to the state of the nation. Communications department, you speak about it. You are looking at the, Western housing, the promises that he made to Ghanaians when it comes to affordable housing. He will have to touch on that for us. Salaries of government workers across the country. Condition of service and all those steps. President Mahama will make mention of it. We witnessed beautiful 2025, and so we want to see what he has for us in the year 2026, how the country is going to be run by him and all appointees and his government, what we expect that he being the driver, how he's going to drive us to the promised land. And so that is what we are expecting at the moment, from economy, inflation, corruption, education, sports, security, on all aspects of our sectors, what he has for us for the remaining years, and for now to 2027, that he will deliver the third state of the nation address before 2028, and then he says goodbye to the Ghanaians. And so we are expecting more. We know that President Mahama's background, like he made mention when he entered, the Zambian, parliament, that he's been a member of parliament before, so he knows how to control parliament. And so we are going to see how he's going to do it again, how he's going to control parliament today for us to get the best out of him. No distractions, no interruptions. He knows how to do it. And so this is what we are also going to look up to, how President Mahama will command that respect of parliament so that he delivers what we want to hear as Ghanaians. But of course, Randy is also here. He's been with us from the beginning, and so he will want to have a bite about the arrival of President John Dramani Mahama.
Thank you, Godfrey. And the moment we've all been waiting for is finally here. The man has arrived. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama has arrived. And of course, you would have it that way, the guard of honor. And indeed, just after that, he will walk straight into the chamber for this whole event to commence. But interesting comments coming from our viewers on Facebook precisely. Tanko Kala Hamza says, so we put out a question, what specific commitments do you want to hear in this year's State of the Nation address? Tanko Kala Hamza says, oral, jobs for the unemployed youth. Then Pascal also says, retool Ghana National Fire Service now. Edem Dignity says, commitment. SONA is about the progress report on commitments made in the year under review. We also have Jabumi Danladi, who says the oral, EC, and the OSP. I'm very much concerned about that sector, and it's very important. Akamio Alfred says, I expect the president to engage us on issues concerning oral, the posting of teachers, especially on university graduates, and also steps ahead to tackle the areas of constitution which gives power to any government to involve in Galamsey, to run out of the country before and after any election has held, and finally update us on cocoa, gold, and any minerals that help to keep our financial situations running. James Sakum says, number 1, oral. Number 2, Galamsey. 3, automatic posting of teachers and nurses. 4, LGBTQ+. 5, cocoa prices. 6, the running of electricity tariffs like Usain Bolt. 7, he says 24-hour economy. 8, Women's Development Bank. 9, unemployment, especially posting of teachers and nurses. 10, rising insecurity in Ghana. Zove Obed says more delivery on Tema Flower Road. Parkway says Galamsey, 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 and nothing else. J. Arnold says jailing corrupt politicians from the previous administration. And the person put it into brackets, the NPP government. Ivan Liptik says seriousness with oral, but not what we see now. Alex Kobla Amegache says oral, 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 and oral. Fatia Zakari says youth development. Ayum Ruby says nurses being posted. Samuel says the cocoa pricing saga. Jaffa, oral is felt in bone marrows to detect corruption. David Melson Akapsin says oral must be institutionalized and accelerated. Kingsford Apreku says it's already been captured. Sadat says jobs. Koble Freeman says jailing of the thieves. Mohammed Abdul Rahman says, I want to hear about the Zoom Lion contract. Dominic Dansu says, oral. So basically, and those are some of the messages that our viewers have been sending it. Bright Apezuke says, the SONA is full of hope and nothing else. Abdul Latif says, Honorable Leader speaks. Agbodaya Bernard says, today, Ghanaians are grateful to President John Dramani Mahama because of his vision, wisdom, democratic ideals, and outstanding achievements as president. His altruism, patriotism, and long-standing commitment to peace and development continues to inspire Ghanaians. Agbo again says, great Eric Edem Agbana. And he says, watching live from Ablekuma. For Victor Jidula says, one of the most ambitious projects right now is the partnership with the African Development Bank to transform Lake Volta into a multimodal transport hub. This is the central part of the 24-hour economy flagship program aimed at boosting trade, irrigation, and industrial expansion across the region. Thank you, John Dramani Mahama and Honorable James Gunu from Victor Duce Fiake from Ho Central. All right, so that's it with some of the messages that our viewers have been sending in as well. So all is set. Members of Parliament waiting for His Excellency to enter the chamber for this important assignment. But again, you look at what people are really talking about. You focus more on the fight against corruption. Oral is rife on the table. Godfrey.
Yes, Randy, it's very important. This is one of the things that brought the NDC back to power when it comes to the fight against corruption, aside the 24-hour economy that they mentioned that will create a lot of jobs to the youth or, ensure that, the youth are involved in the governance of this country when it comes to their contributions to the economy by creating jobs for them. And Zora is very important, very critical. At the moment, a lot of people want to see what has been done, looking forward what will happen, because there were a lot of people that were incited that, oh, of course, these are people that are looting the country, running our economy down. And so when we come into power, this is what we are going to retrieve from them. That's about $21 billion. That was when the Honorable Foreign Affairs Minister made mention that if all things being equal and they are able to retrieve all the loot from the past, administration or executives of the administration, past administration, Ghana is going to get, that is about $21 billion. As it stands now, how much has been retrieved? That is a big question that everybody will be asking. We know that the Attorney General is working. Yesterday there was an update from the OSP about the Ken Ofarate's incident or issue. And so Ghanaians want to hear more. Ghanaians want to see more. If not prosecution, just retrieve this money for us. If whether up to the 20 plus billion dollars or less, we want to know. We want to see what is actually being done to retrieve this money back into our coffers, because it will go a long way to support our economy. And so yes, it's important. I understand why people are calling on the ORA report. What is being done about it? It is very critical, but you shouldn't forget that it is 14 months now, as we speak, and nothing much has been done. Let me put it that way. Even though we say that it will take time when it comes to, prosecution and going through all this process. But yes, 14 months is enough to put people before trials and all those stuff and retrieve as much as we can. And so yes, if they are asking about the ORA, it is important. It's a legitimate call from the people of Ghana looking into this matter, because they gave us a lot of assurances about how they're going to deal with past corrupt officials. State capture, state lands, how they are retrieving all these things, state properties, how they're going to ensure that they recover all these things back to the country. And so, Randy, if they are calling on expectations on the ORA, they are right. It's a genuine concern that they are raising. Personally, we are all looking forward to that, because we want to see a lot of the prosecutions that they made mention. When NDC was in opposition, you shouldn't forget, like I said, ORA was very, very dominant in the campaign time for the NDC. The campaign messages that Operation Recover All Loot. We are bringing all looted state properties back to the states, and so we want to see more in that regard.
Well, so that is it. Godfred has also added his voice to it, because any failure in ORA will mean that the government has shot themselves in the food, because this was a major campaign promise. Now the slow pace of dealing with the cases is what is raising quite a number of eyebrows here and there. But hopefully, we find something cogent from the cases in the coming up days as well. So, most especially, the president will touch on that as well this morning, as far as the SONA is concerned. Yes. So, but away from the issues about corruption, oral here and there, Galamsey is still staring at us in the face. I mean, the quest to clamp down on Galamsey, look at what government has put in place, the various intervention policies here and there. Does it look good? Are we on track?
Randy, so far, if you look at the experts and what they are saying about what they are seeing on the grounds, I mean, they are um, commending the president and the government for their fight at the moment, because the establishment of 9 malls, raiding in a lot of, I mean, forest reserve to capture all these galamseyas, sacking them from the forest reserves and the now forest and water bodies and all those stuff. I mean, they've been giving them good, I mean, ranks. Even when it comes to the CDD reports that they churn out, they commended the government for the prudent steps. I mean, taking so far. And so I'll add my voice to it to say that even though much more needs to be done, we need to do more when it comes to the fight against Galamsey, because it is ruining our environment and we can't compromise on anything. If you look at what EPA is saying, the amount of money that we need to clean our water bodies, even though they started with the piloting and all those stuff, it's quite huge. It also tells us how the level of the deteriorating state of our environment, how the Galamsey took the level it took us to, and so we need to do more. Of course, even though government has done more, you've seen some level of seizure of, um, excavators, some recoveries made, some land reclamations being made by the ministry. Kofi Amaboa is doing so well, but then we expect more to be done when it comes to the Galamsey fight. And so that is the parliament view. When you see the black clouded individuals, you will say they are the members of parliament from the other side of the coin, which is the minority. And like I made mentioned earlier, the whites represent the majority. And so the colors, in our tradition, communicate a whole lot of things. So we've spoken about the we've spoken about the Galamsey. These are critical issues that the people are asking questions about, that what is being done in that regard. The oral has to do with the corruption. The Galamsey has to do with environmental issues. And so, yes, these are critical issues. When it comes to job creation, is also another issue on the table that people are also talking about. So that is the Chief Justice on your short in there. You can see the Minister for Government Communication, Felix, also seated. He is not in white, he is in green. And so that is same Felix Kwache in there, doing so well this year and even last year. So far, when it comes to government communication, job creation, 24-hour economy, when is it starting? How is it going to impact the people? How is it being rolled out at the moment? You shouldn't forget that 14 months, as you see, 1 year, 2 months into President Mahama's administration. What has been done so far is the signing of the bill into law. So now we have the 24-hour economy authority, law, which is backing the implementation of it. And so maybe from today, you hear when the full force will start rolling out. And so that is it. We haven't seen much when it comes to workshop like we are seeing the Ghana Health Service doing for the waiting of the full implementation of the Mahama case. We want to see what other agencies are also doing to welcome the 24-hour economy. We've heard some of the institutions already moving ahead and starting with the 24-hour economy, but then what is the government itself doing for the full rollout of this initiative, the 133 formation? Because a lot of people are talking about, when you go to social media, that's been the cry of a lot of people, how is it being churned out for the youth to get into the formal sector when it comes to the employment aspect. Like, you see on your screen, it's as if that there is phone where I don't know what the minority want to communicate, but that is
But it's something we usually see in
yes,
Parliament.
exactly.
Anytime they either the budget or the SONA is being presented, majority will definitely wear some white colors or bright colors to, I mean, add up to the whole event. The other side, the opposition or the minority will also be clad in some other colors as well. But let's see. We just pray that today's event will go as planned and everything should be captured. And is that not the finance minister on the
Yeah,
screen? Yes, of
that's
course.
one
So
of
it has
the
started.
yeah.
Yeah, maybe we can visit Parliament and see what exactly the. Okay, so that's fine. But as you can see on the screen, seems there is some
Yeah,
sort of joy on the part of the majority.
yeah, the
Yeah.
chanting has begun from the majority side. You see, I mean, this is to prepare grounds for the entry of the president. Of course, before the president comes in, there will be some, let me see, proceeding rituals that both members will do, both majority and minority will do. This is test how ready they are because Randy, this is going to take a lot of attention and some sort of focus. So that is A plus, affectionately known as that on your screen. You all see that we are having full, I mean, parliament. Just 2 days we saw foreign minister Samuel Okujeto Ablakwa in Kiev, Russia. I mean, sorry, Ukraine, talking to the Ukrainian president, and today he's in parliament. It shows the magnitude of today's event. He needs to be around because, of course, when President Mahama assumed office so far, he's embarked on a lot of trips across the world. Even this year, just 2 months, he's made quite a number of trips, and so he has been at the forefront of it. And so it is important that he also be around. I know President Mahama will talk about the bilateral, I mean, cooperation and collaborations between Ghana and other countries so far. Just recently, even after the attack on some tomato traders in Burkina Faso, we saw our minister there, and so it formed part of the effort to reintegrate those, I mean, countries in the ECOWAS that have, moved out of the ECOWAS, and so how we can also strengthen our borders and ensure that our security extends to the borders of our country and our people are safe when they are moving out. And so it is important. That's why he has even rushed back to the country to ensure and also observe the SONA today. You can see from your shots at the moment Gisela Tete in there. Former President J. Kufuor is around, and that you understand why the shouting when the cameras captured him. He's a statesman. He's been here before, from 2000 to 2008, when he also assumed office as president. That is the Attorney General Anyene in there. Like you made mention about the Ura, this is the man that much is expected from him.
Talking about him,
Yes.
everybody is having their eyes glued on him.
Yeah, because of the aura, and when it comes to the corruption investigations, all are on his shoulders, and so he carries a lot of burden. I must be frank with you, because expectations are high. Randy, we can go 14 months without seeing anything significant from the aura report, and so there will be a lot of pressure on him. He knows it. And as we always hear from the government accountability series, anytime when they get to his turn, he makes Ghanaians aware that yes, there's a lot of pressure on him that he needs to deliver, but then he's working along the clock to ensure that his mandate and what Ghanaians expect from him is delivered. That is the energy minister, Randy. I know that there's pressure on him in recent times when it comes to the tariffs, when it comes to electricity tariff. People are raising a lot of concern about the running of the meter at the moment, and so he's also under some sort of fire at the moment. So he would also want to hear what President Mahama has when it comes to that. Is his brother. At the other side, Parliament is currently, let me say, how do I describe it? It's more fun today because we are seeing beautiful pictures coming from both sides. That is Speaker of Parliament walking back to take his seat as culture demands or as proceedings demands. So he is leading President Mahama at the moment. So Speaker is leading President Mahama. You saw President Mahama and his wife, Mrs. Lordina Mahama, following the Speaker to make that entry to the floor of Parliament. So very soon we will start the proceedings and we will get to hear from President John Dramani Mahama.
Fred, thank you. Indeed, we'll soon hear from President Mahama. So he's been ushered into the chamber, and that will mean that in the GFA, the SONA, as you have it, will commence as well. We are still live here at Parliament House, where His Excellency John Dramani Mahama will be presenting the State of the Nation. What do you think? Are you feeling the change? Are you enjoying the reset? Share your thoughts with us via all our social media platforms. You can also send us a text via WhatsApp number 055-269-7939. Yes, expectations are high indeed. We really need to, understand what exactly the days ahead also look like. Remember, the president is being round. There is this factory that was recently launched, I think, at Shama, the glass factory as well. It's something that most definitely should change the narrative as far as the economy is concerned. But Godfred, I like the speaker's outfit.
Yeah, very beautiful.
Yeah.
Very, very beautiful. Not too much away from what the vice president is also wearing.
Yeah, so
very
that was
beautiful.
the vice president that followed
Yes,
just
yes,
after the speaker
yes.
entered.
And
And
President Mahama in the
did they
famous
plan it?
Fugu.
Was he a planting?
Well,
Because the president is also in Fugu.
Yeah. He's poised on promoting Fugu.
Yeah.
We saw what happened in Zambia and representing us in Parliament today too in Fugu. So I can see President Mahama. If you're on campus, you say he'll be an agenda boy. He's setting the agenda for us to follow, promoting traditional wear. And it's so beautiful. If you look at all the four big,
all right, so hold on. I think that the national anthem is being played. If we can just quickly cross over to the, what's the name, the chamber, and take that anthem quickly.
Attention! Honorable members, honorable members, this is the Chamber of Parliament. Honorable members, the House is extremely privileged to have the President of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, President of the Republic and Commander-in-Chief of the Ghana Armed Forces in this August September. His Excellency, the President is here in accordance with Article 67 of the Constitution of the Republic to deliver a message on the state of the nation to this honorable House. On behalf of leadership and honorable members, it is my privilege and singular honor to welcome His Excellency the President of the Republic to this August House. Honorable members, before I invite His Excellency the President to deliver a message on the state of the nation, permit me to recognize the presence in this chamber the following distinguished personalities. Honorable members, we are blessed with the presence of not only His Excellency the President of the Republic of Ghana, but also his spouse, the First Lady, Her Excellency Lordina Mahama. We also have the presence of the Vice President, the First Lady in Ghana to be a Vice President. Her Excellency Professor Jane Nana Opoku Ajiman. We have His Lordship, the Chief Justice, Justice Paul Kwadwo Bafubone. Honorable members, he did not come alone. He came with his spouse, who, as you all know, is the Director General of the Prison Service. Honorable members, honorable members, honorable members, I'm talking about Mrs. Patience Bafubone. Surely, we have the presence of your lordships, justices of the Superior Court with us here. We also have the chairman of the Council of State and the former Speaker of Parliament, Right Honorable Edward Doe Ajaho. We have the presence of the former president, His Excellency John Agyekum Kufuor. Honorable members, honorable members, honorable members, I have a formal communication from His Excellency, the former President, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. He expresses his gratitude to the invitation for him to be here. Unfortunately, for good reason, he is not able to attend this occasion.
It's a lie. It's a lie.
Honorable members, he, however, extends his best wishes to you and to His Excellency, the President, on this occasion. Honorable members, honorable members, we also have the presence of the former Speaker of Parliament, Right Honorable Sechi Hughes. I know that a lot of you are young, so you may not recollect some of these people. Honorable members, we also have a number of the members of the Council of State who are here today. We have also the presence of the Chief of Staff, Honorable Julius Debra. Honorable members, we have with us the former Speaker of Parliament, the Right Honorable Mike Aaron Okwe. We have the National Chairman of the National Democratic Congress, Honorable Johnson Asedu Nketia, and we have the acting national chairman of the New Patriotic Party, Mr. Dankwa Smith Bute. Honorable members, We have the General Secretary of the National Democratic Congress, Mr. Fifi Fievi Kwete. And we have the General Secretary of the New Patriotic Party, Mr. Justin Frimpong Kodua. For sure, we have, as usual, our brothers and sisters in the diplomatic corps. Many of them are here with us, and they are distinguishedly seated at the public gallery. We also have the heads of the various security services. We have our revered traditional leaders, religious leaders, and the former clerks to Parliament. Honorable members, on your behalf, I warmly welcome all of them to the House.